Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to provide an update to the bull market support band. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Link is in the description below. Make sure you guys check that out. You'll have access to the website. We have a lot of different charts that you can look at, and so on and so forth. So make sure you guys check that out. Link is in the description below, intothecryptoverse.com. Now, with Bitcoin, we have the bull market support band, which of course consists of the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA, and we use it in turn to better understand when Bitcoin is in an uptrend or a downtrend. And oftentimes in an uptrend, it will try to hold the 20-week SMA or the 21-week EMA as support. In a downtrend, it will often get rejected by it, right? And so you can see that pretty clearly, like right here and right here. And then in the uptrend, it's often supported by it. And sometimes you get a fake out where it goes below it. And, I thought that we would fall below it right here. But you can see that after falling below it, and we spent about a month and a half down there, we then just exploded to the upside. And it's been one hell of a ride ever since. Now, in terms of where we are right now, I mean, Bitcoin's currently coming in just below 42K. The 20-week SMA is now at around 31.8K. 21-week EMA is at 33.7K. So quite a ways from where we currently are. I mean, in fact, if we were to go look at the price, I mean, we'd have to fall 20%, 19% just to get to the 21-week EMA. 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA is about a 23 to 24% drop. Now, ways to visualize this, of course, are to look at the short-term bubble risk, which is basically just the extension from the 20-week SMA. And you can see that, like, it's kind of an interesting pattern here, because let me just show you. Let me change this to a different color so it stands out a little bit more. You can see that the extension of Bitcoin above the 20-week SMA over here in January was basically similar to where it was in February, which is also kind of where it was in November, right? So essentially just the extension at these extremes. You can see about 28, 29%. Same thing over here, right? You're looking at the high 20s in terms of the extension from that bull market support band or the 20-week SMA. Same thing here in November, from that 20-week moving average, you're looking at it up almost around 28% or so. But then we also had a further extension that came in March, right? So if you look at March, you'll see that it actually extended all the way up further than that 28% level. And in fact, went all the way up to about 40% extended, which in fact is where we have been, right? About 40% extension. And so it'll be interesting to see if that acts as a resistance level again, about a 40% extension above the 20-week moving average. Now, if you look closely, even though we did not get more than about 40% extended from the 20-week SMA, you can see that Bitcoin was still able to sort of slowly go higher for a little bit before finally coming back down. So, the extension of the 20-week SMA is dynamic. I mean, because the 20-week SMA is constantly changing. So if price were to go sideways, then this would actually go down just because the 20-week SMA is going to where the price of Bitcoin is. So it's important you think about it. It's important we think about it like that, because sometimes the extension from the 20-week SMA can go down, but temporarily the price could still be trending higher even with that trend intact. So just be aware of that. And you could also visualize this another way, like the log of the price over the 20-week moving average, which might be easier to visualize for some people, by just, instead of looking at it in terms of color coding, just sort of looking at the extension from the 20-week moving average and looking to see where prior moves have sort of locally topped out at. And I mean, you can see that's where we are right now was essentially where we were back over here in March. It was actually also basically the furthest extension we reached in October. And even then, that was another example where it reached the furthest extension for the 20-week in October, but then in November, the price of Bitcoin actually still went a little bit higher. And around this level was, marked some local tops here in 2017, although we continue to go higher, and so on and so forth, right? So just another way to sort of think about price action with Bitcoin is that extension. I mean, it really just goes to show, how bullish are people? Are they fine buying, 40% above the 20-week SMA, or are there a lot of dip buyers waiting for it to, sort of come back down and tag that bull market support band as it's already done, several times this year, right? So just something to think about. And we could also, we could look at the forecast thing that we have. I mean, this would be basically, if the 20-week SMA continued up based on the current price, you could see that it would take, months for the 20-week SMA to catch up. But what I'd rather look at is the one that includes the 8-week. This one right here. I can pull it up. Sorry, it might not be loading right now. Right here. So let me get rid of this last one and just show you this one. So there's also the 8-week moving average, which we've pointed out is a significant moving average to look at. Actually, the 8-week SMA is where Bitcoin would, get these bounces at back in, in 2021. And it even got a little bit of a bounce right here and even right here. So, I mean, the 8-week SMA, by the way, right now is just below 39K. So, if the price of Bitcoin were to continue to fall in, that 8-week moving average, I think is an area that you could find some support. That would be sort of the initial support level, well before you get to the bull market support band. So just something to think about. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and keep it short this week because my internet is actually pretty flaky at the current time. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and again, check out the sale and Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Links in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.